especially being on the road around March time. I was just, like I said before, I was just buzzing off playing live and that. And then just all these other songs just started coming, you know. And the more you get, the more concise the picture becomes as well, of the whole, you know, what it should be.
In the Stanley Road thing, you say it was all building the first album, and Wildwood was slowly building to Stanley Road. How do you see this one in the chronology of the? I don't
know. I've no idea.
It's more like a fresh start, like kind of year zero thing.
Well, it is a little bit for me. You know what I mean? Everything you ever do is always builds up to something, you know. But for me, it's just like really fresh. I just think, from the floorboards up alone, it's just sort of fresh. It's just like bang, you know. This is it. This is a new statement. This is where I'm at now, and away we go. You know, as is now. You know, that's the statement. You know.
Because that's the floorboards, the desire to, the basic urge that gets you into music in the first place.
Yeah.
Celebration of.
Well, yeah, totally, yeah, absolutely, yeah. It's the thing that me and Whitey always say, that on a good night, when I'm talking about playing live, on a good night, it just sort of seems to come from rise up your body into your head to out into the world and back again, you know. And so yeah, it comes from that really, just playing live and just the buzz. I mean, I was saying to my daughter, bless her heart, she's only 13, man. We went to see Kings of Leon last night, and she was saying to me on the way back home about how fantastic music is, you know, and how it unites people. And it's true, it's this fucking holy communion of rock and roll. It's true, you know. It's the only thing I can personally think of on earth that really unites everyone, you know, in a universal way as well. And it's just great to get that vibe back again, isn't it? You know, we all go off the ball a bit sometimes and get cynical, but when you do get back on it, you realise how fucking great it is, how much you missed it, you know.
Was that a thing for you, where you just thought, I'm so glad you got it back, when you listen back to the album and it's like...
Well, yeah, when you hear it all back and that, yeah. But even when we were doing it, I just thought, well, we're on something here. This is special.
So what happened with the recording process? So the sessions at RAC were the initial things, and that didn't...
Well, that was going to be the start of the album at RAC. I thought we had sort of 6, 7, 8 tunes or whatever. I thought, right, we're going to start the album now. Which was too early looking back on it, which is why it didn't work out, you know. But if nothing else, they served to be just good demos and just another little kind of step on from it all, you know. But I realised that we weren't ready yet, and we didn't have enough tunes yet. You know, it's always better to go with the more tunes you got, the better, you know, to build the whole picture up.
Stan and Yuri were blaming their absence on this.
Well, they're fucking bound to do that, aren't they? Just not me. Well, they're probably right as well. It's, you know, partly right anyway.
So after that, you thought, right, I've got to go back, have a break for a bit, or just go straight down to Wheeler End and...
Well, no, after that we did the tour, which is probably the best thing we could have done, you know. And then directly after that, after the tour, we went into Wheeler's End and did the first sort of, I think we did like 6 or 7, 8 tunes, and then we knew kind of, yeah, we've got it going now.
And they were like first take, were they?
Yeah, I mean, within the first sort of, you know, within sort of 5 takes, most of them. Yeah, I mean, some are first takes. But we never sort of go beyond sort of 5 or 6. It's like, if we don't get it with that, we'll just leave it, we'll come back to it then. But we nearly always get it, you know.
And what would an average day be like in there at Wheeler End in the studio?
We normally start about 11 o'clock-ish, 12 o'clock-ish, and we just plough on. We don't really fuck about, really. We just plough on and we just keep at it, and we just go for performances. You know, that's the thing with us, because I mean, which has never changed. I mean, all the years we've been doing it, really, it's always been about that, pretty much. Anyway, might be a slight sort of deviation back in the sort of Style Council digital fucking sequence days, but I mean, apart from that, it's always been sort of live takes, really. And the great thing about recording like that is that once you've done a take, you kind of either know it's in the pocket or it isn't, or you've got to go back and do it again. You know, there isn't no, we'll dress it up later on or tie it up later. It's either there or not. You know.
Was it a conscious decision? So it's just going to be the band, you know, the 4 of you in there, no overdubs, pretty much.
No, I wanted to try and keep it stripped down as possible. Yeah, and I wanted to try and make it again. Going back to the live thing, trying to make it the sort of thing we know we can reproduce live as well. So as little overdubs as possible, you know.
And then you'd know basically when it was the right one, or would it be like you'd go back in there and do a discussion? We kind of always know, you know. I mean, we might go back. We might always feel, yeah, we've got it, but we might go back and do a couple more just to make sure, you know, or maybe we can get it better. But nearly always we go back to the one we've always felt that was it. Right. And say Blink with Changes, do you think that's now the opening track on the album? Do you,
right.
Well, it looks that way. Do you think that's like a mission statement, almost like a don't miss this? You blink and you might miss it, sort of thing.
Well, I wish I could say it was, but it isn't really. It's just a song, to be honest with you. Do you know what I mean? I mean, it's a song that's been kicking around for a long, long time. It was one of the sort of demos we did just before we did Wildwoods, so just after the first solo album. And about, I don't know if I already said this already, but like a week before we were going to do the final part of the album, I think we got the album songs, but we need some B-sides as well. And that one just sort of came back to me. You know, we never did anything with it at the time, for whatever reason, and I just kind of rewrote a little bit of it and just sort of changed it a wee bit. And it was going to be a B-side, but you know, it's just, again, you know, you just can't tell. Same with Savages, you know, that was going to be a B-side, but it's just, they've all just turned it so well.
The lyrics for Savages are like, you know, there's a couple of lines about dressing up in uniform, those kind of things. Is that a reference to the, you know, the ongoing political, you know, Iraq and stuff?
It's about that. It's about whether they're sort of so-called freedom fighters or the, you know, the armies we send in from our country in America. I mean, I just think it's, you know, it's fucking wrong. It will always be wrong, and you know, that's kind of it for me, really. I'm not making any grand sort of political statement, but it's just it's wrong. You know, it's against nature. It's against God. It's against everything we're supposed to believe in, really. You know, in my mind. I mean, I was specifically thinking about, you know, that thing that happened in the school in Russia, where, you know, where the bomb's gone off and the army stormed in and the kids are running out into the playground to their parents and they're still shooting them in the back. It's just like, how can you fucking do that, man? And this, you know, in 2005 it's still going on. You know, whether it will always go on, I don't know, but it's not good enough, really, is it? You know, I mean, I don't know how we change that. I don't know. And that's why I'm not making any. That's what I said. I'm not making any sort of grand statement, but I just know that it's wrong. We should all know it's wrong. That's what it's saying. And they are savages, you know. You just don't do that to your brothers and sisters, you know. They're like the fucking kids, man. It's, you know, it's a basic statement, really.
The theme of the record is like, you know, love, and people don't celebrate the day-to-day stuff as much as they ought to, sort of thing. Was that conscious, or did it just come? You realised that all the songs were basically like make it all right and stuff as an example?
Well, I think they all come from the same place. You know what I mean? They all come out of your subconscious a lot of time. Doesn't always necessarily mean they're, you know, autobiographical, but I mean, I think they all come from the same sort of place, really. And I think more than anything, you know, it's just trying to spread a bit of that around, really, spread a bit of love around, you know. And to try and make people feel good about things and believe again, you know, and get people back on board, you know. I mean, it's only a record, it's a pop record, I know, you know, and it's, you know, I'm not fucking Bono or anything, I don't want to be, man, but I'm making my own little personal statement, you know, and hopefully people will dig it and get on with it and come on with us, you know.
The on Come On, Let's Go. There's this Paul McCartney always used to say to him, and Linda used to just drive off and deliberately get lost, you know. I mean, is it almost just like it doesn't really matter? Is it just an escape thing?
Well, yeah, because I mean the lyrics are like, you know, you know, you say where to, and I say I don't know. I mean, I've no idea, but it's just go, you know. Just know we got to do one. You know what I mean? That's that kind of thing. I think I've always, you know, I don't know, I made some pretentious statement the other week, which we recorded, you know, about God's invisible scooter. You know what I mean? Get on the fucking invisible SX200 and let's fucking go, you know. Don't know where it is, you know, somewhere good, somewhere up in the clouds, wherever it's going to be, you know.
Talking just now about Paper Smile, originally that was an acoustic number then. I mean, it's Liverpudlian and kind of...
It's definitely Scouse, man, yeah. It was definitely, hats off to the Scousers, definitely. And, but it wasn't an acoustic number. It was again, it was another one we was kind of running through sound checks on the last tour. And we just kind of developed from that. I mean, I only had like a riff at that time and a few little chords in, you know. But it just kind of developed from that, from us just sort of jamming on it, really.
The lyric, you know, hanging out the window, panting thing, is that something about the press, or people want to be after celebrities, that kind of business?
I don't know what it's about, Paul, to be honest with you, man. I don't know. I really just enjoy writing these songs, and with a few exceptions where they're very sort of definite statements, I just enjoyed writing, you know. And I mean, if I got anything from doing that covers album, it was just, as a singer, sometimes it's just nice to sing words that just sort of just flow and rhyme and you don't always know what they're about, and I didn't even really care what they're about. It was just kind of, they were just nice to sing. And sometimes I think lyrics find their own meanings, you know, and they're certainly finding their own meanings for other people, you know. I mean, me as a kid, you know, Strawberry Fields Forever, I mean, fuck knows what that means, but it meant something to me, you know, something indescribable.